Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of my Megapark. Now in the last episode I made this pair of dueling flying coasters, and in this episode I want to decorate the island which they sit on. Now I asked you guys for suggestions for names, and well, I didn't really get a name that I want to use, but I was inspired by you guys. So yeah, some people mentioned that would be cool if this was some sort of cloning lab. Some names were also suggested that had to do with cloning, and I really like those. So yeah, I guess the story that I'm going with on this island is that this will be some sort of cloning facility where dinosaurs were cloned. And since they're flying coasters, we'll use names of flying dinosaurs. Actually, I already used these names before in the park that I made for my dueling coaster contest. So this one will be called Pterodactyl. This one will be called Pteranodon. Alright, I think those will be nice names for this pair of coasters. Now, of course, to complement this theme, I will make some scientific buildings here, and the rest of the island will be covered in sort of a Jurassic theme. So it will have jungle, but it will also have volcanoes, maybe some dinosaurs put around. And I also want to have another ride here somewhere on the island. Now the first thing I will do for now is to make a nice looking station for this coaster. I want to make it look like some sort of laboratory or or a cloning laboratory. There's lots of metal and some nice colors of glass as well. Alright, let's get started. Okay, here's a little trick that I like to use. You may have already seen me do this before, but if you haven't, well yeah, with the tile inspector you can take a launched freefall, for example, and you can simply copy and paste these base pieces. and they give a really nice texture. So when you copy and paste it over a queue path, for example, I think it looks really cool. So yeah, just a little trick that I like to use. I also have a tutorial where I show you how to exchange your queue path with something like this. Okay, here's another little trick that I like to use. So when I have a building and I want to make sort of a round floor with round windows, what I sometimes do is I just place a monorail train like this on an invisible track. I actually still need to make the track invisible. There we go. And I will just cover this with scenery. And yeah, it will sort of look like round windows. I think it will look cool on top of this cloning lab. Now, when you do something like this, of course, I just spawned the track by putting it in test mode very shortly, and then closing the ride. Of course, you'll want to set the inspection interval to never. Because if you don't, well, yeah, basically you'll occupy a mechanic who will try to reach the ride for an inspection, while it is always just standing still. Because I didn't make a path to the exit and the entrance of this ride. So yeah, set the inspection interval to never, or your mechanic will suffer. Alright, as usual, this building took me way too long to make, but yeah, I really like the look of this this monorail train on top, which acts as a set of windows. Alright, that was the station for the roller coaster. So yeah, I will now try to see if if I can add another ride here on this island. I think I will just go for something simple like a roto drop, again with a building around it in the same style as this station building, but a little bit more simple. Alright, that's the roto drop tower done. I must say, I really like the way this building turned out. These roto drops can become so much nicer if you put a really nice building around them. Also the color scheme, I think it works quite well here. I used the same yellow and black that I used in the other buildings, and the grey of course. I think it will look really good with some nice trees and plants and stuff around it. But yeah, I think it's a nice addition to this island. I think I may be able to fit one other ride here, but I'll have to think about what kind of ride it will be. Now, for now, I will now just decorate this area over here with some plants, and yeah, I'll just do some landscaping around here. Alright, the pretzel loops have now been, well, they are now wrapping around the volcano, also going under it. Probably not very safe if this was actually a real volcano. But I really like the look of this effect. So yeah, well, since we have so many guests here, I think what this island still needs is probably a restaurant, maybe also a shop or two. But I think this will be a nice place to fit a small restaurant building. And yeah, that's probably the last thing I will do for this episode. I'll leave the rest of the landscaping for later. Alright, and here's our little burger shack. It's a really simple building, so yeah, nothing to write home about, but it does the job. So in it, I just put a burger stall and a lemonade stall and some toilets. I just copied the rides from other places in the park, so they will only be visited by guests who happen to bump into these buildings. But yeah, I think that's enough for this island. Later, at the end of the when I'm about to finish the park, then I'll check how many ride slots I have left. Currently, I have 107 rides, and then including stalls. Well, yeah, still plenty of room for other rides. But yeah, at the end, I'll check how many I have left, and if I have enough, I will give each place where I put stalls their own stall instead of a copied one. Anyway, I think that will be it for this episode. So yeah, it took me quite a while to make these buildings, but I'm especially happy with how this station looks now. I think it looks really nice. I also love this transfer track here. Yeah, I'm really happy with the result so far. So yeah, I guess we can say more than half of the island is done now. So in the next episode, I'll just cover this part of the island. And probably I'll do some stuff like make some extra transport rides from and to the island, stuff like that. Probably work here on the cliffs a bit on the beach. Yeah, there's still plenty to do around here. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.